In the UK, over the last few years, there's been an awful lot of problem with box hedging, box balls, and all of the ornamental box. And here I am at Wisley today to show you some different plantings to help you with this problem. Hello, I'm Rosy Hardy. This is Rosy Hardy Gardening. If you enjoy my gardening videos, then please do subscribe, as this really does help my channel. Now, the problem in the UK recently with box as hedging or as ornamental balls or spirals or any of that type of planting is that we have ended up with something called box blight. Now, this is causing large amount of death of box. It also has increased the amount of chemicals that people are wanting to try and put on to try to eradicate the disease, and this is not helping, and what you can use is becoming less and less. So you need to think about alternatives. Also, there is box moth, and the caterpillars are just devastating box hedging as well. So what are we going to do? What are we going to plant to change this? And I think half the problem is that, and I think it is all to do with landscapers and people wanting these tidy little box hedges around plantings. And you've ended up with garden after garden after garden next to each other with these box hedging. And it basically is a monocrop of hedges. And therefore it's made it very, very easy for the insects to travel, for the disease to travel and just go straight through everything. I've been very fortunate to be invited here to Wisley to have a look at their change of use of plants. So they've called it thinking outside the box, and they are trialing all sorts of different evergreens and seeing which ones work and which ones don't. And through this process, they've already had to take out various plant material because we had a really heavy freeze and they lost one of the ones which we thought would be good, and that was Pittosporum. So let's now go and have a look at other plants that we can utilize as alternatives to box. So the first things we're going to look at are all from the same family. They are all Podocarpus. This beautiful one is Blue Gem. It's got a lovely blue hue to the leaves, and it is fantastic. This is known as the pine plum, and it's a fabulous thing. It does get little berries, which the birds love. It can be clipped into shape. It can be made into hedging, so that you are able to utilize it. Now, it comes in different forms. We're going to look at some other colors. If you don't like blue, for instance, then we can go to something which has got paler green, or we can go to something which is really dark. And this will just give us a different feel in the garden. You can utilize it as hedging, or you can clip it into various shapes. There are numerous forms. So this one is Podocarpus nivalis, so it comes out with lovely fresh young green. So if that's what you prefer in your garden, then this is a really great form. There are Podocarpus with much larger, more open leaf as well. So you don't just have to have the really tight leafed forms like this. So, and behind me here is one called Chocolate Box, which again is deep in colour. Let's just take a quick look at the one with the larger foliage. This one is Podocarpus cunninghamii Kiwi, and the foliage is just that bit bigger, so it gives you a more open habit. So it really depends on what you like, and you can choose the forms that you like. This is the same yew. So you've got it clipped here, you've got it all loose here. And I don't mind it when it's loose and like that, and then you can tidy it up for the winter so that it looks like so. That is really good. So this is Taxus baccata Repandens. It's not as fast growing, but it is very, very bushy, so it makes a good, tight, dark green hedge. And this is just the same size as the box that you would normally use. So it's a really good alternative. But again, we all need to use something slightly different. The more people using more different plants in their garden, the better we will be, rather than just having one type, which if a disease comes in will just wipe out everybody's plant material. So we all need to think about what we want to grow. Some people will want dark green, other people will want yellow, some people will want variegated. If you're using something like yew, it's a really great plant, that's fabulous, but there are other things that you could use, and we will take a look at 2 more varieties. This is a ligustrum, and it's a really good form. It stays as a neat, tidy plant. You doesn't need as much cutting as some of the ligustrums do. Good shape of leaf, and look at that, it's a really wonderful hedge. I love it, it's fabulous. You've got the dark green, you've got the form, you've got the pale green as it starts to grow. That will make a slightly bigger hedge, or you can keep it lower. So it really depends on what type of hedging you're wanting. But this ligustrum is great. Variegated, not everybody's cup of tea, but if you want something that stands out as a lovely pillar or a round shape, then this Rhamnus is good as well. And you can see this has been clipped into this lovely pyramid here. You could have it softer and have it round, that's absolutely no problem. But as a change from dark green to this, it's such a great contrast. The same if you're going to use yellows. So Rhamnus is another one of these alternatives to box. If you are visiting Wisley, do come and have a look at these box alternatives. You may be really surprised how tidy they are and what will be really good for your garden. There is plenty of choice. You will be able to buy plants like this to do your hedging, and that will be fantastic. This has been quite an eye-opener to me to see the different things. The planting has changed over the years. Things like Iris crenata and also Pittosporum have gone from here. They didn't survive. These things that are here now have survived for a good length of time. Thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe to the channel. If you want to watch another video of mine, YouTube thinks this one is perfect for you.